Ascletis is known and specializes in antiviral treatments. You have an innovative pipeline for HIV drugs, cancer, the likes of hepatitis C as well. What do you make of the research that is going on here for this coronavirus outbreak right now? And are we getting closer to finding some type of antiviral to fight this disease?
Thank you much for having me. And our antiviral strategy for coronavirus is twofold. One is to repurpose existing drugs with demonstrated safety in our pipeline, such as hepatitis C, protease inhibitor, tenofovir, which is marketed in China for almost 2 years. Second is to research new drugs against coronavirus. So our first 3 clinical trials, all based on repurposing existing drugs, especially on tenofovir, which is a marketed hepatitis C drug. So at this moment, we finish first small sample studies of 11 patients, moderate coronavirus patients. All 11 patients are discharged from hospital because they met discharge conditions, including the RT-PCR nucleic acid negative and a significant improvement in CT scan. Thank you.
Dr. Wu, let's talk a little bit more about that clinical trial for Ganovo. I presume that's what you're talking about. As you mentioned, it appears that this small clinical trial so far has proven to be effective. Are there any plans to expand it to a bigger control group?
Yes, we are working with different doctors in China, outside China, because there are not too many cases of new coronavirus in China. We need to expand into the clinical trials outside China.
Dr. Wu, has any government or companies expressed any interest in your antiviral drug?
Yes, we do receive some interest overseas, let's say from Italy, from Luxembourg, and from USA. We are talking to them right now because our goal is to help patients on a global basis as soon as possible.
So are you confident that perhaps they'll be recommended as a possible way of treating the virus?
Well, we hope so, but as we mentioned, the trial we did in China is a small sample, only 11 patients. We need more data to demonstrate efficacy of tenofovir, also named Ganovo, against coronavirus patients.
What about your combo therapy of antiviral Ascletis and ritonavir? I mean, that's also shown some encouraging signs that you mentioned before. Do you see this type of combo therapy as a big growth driver to be approved by regulators? And it seems like this COVID-19 outbreak is a one-off thing, but could it actually be a bigger growth driver for your company?
Yes, you're right, because we focus on antivirals, including Hep C, Hep B, and HIV/AIDS, of course. Coronavirus is urgent, but Apr.01 in combination with ritonavir, both of them are HIV protease inhibitors. So we definitely have one stone, two birds strategy, one for HIV/AIDS, one for coronavirus, similar to our tenofovir, which also the combo therapy for 11 patients, tenofovir in combination with ritonavir.
Dr. Wu, how do you view your drug candidates to fight against this coronavirus? How does it differ from what other pharma companies are testing right now, the likes of remdesivir, which is an Ebola drug, or the anti-malaria drug hydrochloroquine as well? How do you compare all those at the moment?
Our target is different from these two drugs you mentioned, such as remdesivir. Their target is polymerase of coronavirus. Our tenofovir and Apr.01 and ritonavir are targeting on protease. Both protease and polymerase are demonstrated in the HIV and the Hep C are very, very effective targets against viruses. So we believe we are two important targets, protease and polymerase for coronavirus. So we are happy to see different companies working on different targets. Of course, as Ascletis, we specialize in targeting protease.
Dr. Wu, give us a sense of your company's plan on developing therapies for this pandemic.
Okay, so as I mentioned, the two different approaches, one for vaccine, one for medicines. So vaccine may take some time. Same thing for drug development of medicines. So that's the reason our strategy is twofold. First is to repurpose existing drugs such as tenofovir, HCV protease inhibitors, because this drug, tenofovir, is very safe. We just have to demonstrate efficacy in clinical trials to respond to such urgent call in the coronavirus pandemic. The second, all these drugs, including our drugs, tenofovir, remdesivir from Gilead, are not designed for coronavirus. It's designed for Ebola or HCV. So we need to research better drugs, hopefully, for coronavirus, because we believe this pandemic may last for longer than we expected, may come back at some point. We don't know everything yet.
Dr. Wu, when we come out of this pandemic, do you think there'll be permanent changes to the way we do business? Will there be changes to the pharmaceutical industry?
I think you're right. In my personal view, I think we already changed the way of our normal life in the pharmaceutical industry. Same thing, for example, for our tenofovir, because we started research tenofovir based on a lot of modeling data, AI, all these kind of things help us to quickly identify tenofovir may be an interesting candidate for coronavirus protease. Then we jump into the clinical trials with approval of ethics committee for the safety reason, started clinical trials. So you can see we're doing a lot of modeling and virtual studies.
That's good to hear. Dr. Wu, there's been so much, I guess, blame games that are being pointed at right now between the U.S. and China on who, what prompted this spread of this virus. And, we just saw recently the U.S. criticize and U.S. intelligence officials say that China was concealing the extent of this coronavirus outbreak. What do you have to say to that? What do you make of the government's response since this outbreak began?
Well, I think as a scientist, my goal is help patients as much as we can, as I can, with existing drugs and research new drugs. I believe under such emergency, every government should be responsible for their part, just like we, as a scientist, as a company, we do our job.